What's up, everyone? We are back. It is episode 17 of the DISHIN podcast. We got into our CCM Hockey House invite. We're going to be in Montreal from January 9th to the 12th. We're going to be doing all the merchandise for CCM. So if you're in the area, get out to Montreal. Even if you can't, check everything out online. It's going to be super dope. We also got into our collaboration with 3G Sports for a women's line we're going to be launching that is called She Shoots, She Scores. So look for that on December 2nd. Along with that, we got into a fashion show recap that we did last week with Restoration. And last but not least, we got into our collaboration with the Gretzky Hockey School. That's going to be coming very soon, so be on the lookout for that. Episode 17 is live now.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the DISHIN podcast. Episode 17.
Let's go. We're back.
We're back, baby. We got a lot to talk about today. We'll try and keep it short and sweet. This episode, I think, is going to come out a few days before Thanksgiving. So, just wanted to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays.
Yep. Yes, sir. Happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving. We are excited for Christmas coming up, too. We got some fun Black Friday stuff that we're probably going to be doing pretty soon. So, yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of Black Friday, all of the sites have been booming between DISHIN, Skins, Bubbles. A lot of people have been buying stuff. I think a lot of it has to do with the holidays, but also with all the drops we've been doing. So I did want to give a quick reminder that if you are looking for any hats, any colored bubbles, skins, I know a lot of youth teams are almost halfway through their season. So if you need to re-up on skate skins or maybe you need a new hat or whatever, make sure you guys order your stuff online before the holidays because stuff's going to go quick. I saw some people are kind of buying some OG hats. A few of the hats already sold out on New Era's site. The Tony hat sold out, which was cool. I think you said, was it the camo?
The camo.
Yeah. Yep. Two of those are sold out, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think two of the ones that we thought the Tony was going to fly, but to see the camo go pretty quick was something too.
It's just funny because when we were designing it, we were just messing around with the camo stuff, and DJ was like, this is going to be the best seller. We were like, no way. There's no way. It's camo. And it ended up being the first sellout. So.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's cool. But, again, holidays are right around the corner, so be sure to, again, we got skate skins for stocking stuffers, bubbles are on sale too, and then obviously all the DISHIN merch that's on the website, so don't miss out.
Yep, that's facts. And we've done a lot of drops lately too. Like we had the What Chaos drop, just did Picasso's. We have a couple other ones that we're going to talk about today with Gretzky and She Shoots, She Scores. So, yeah, right around a great time of the holidays, even going into 2025 as well. We're going to touch on some projects that we have coming up here pretty soon. So, excited to get into it all.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that we're already pretty much into 2025 at this point with a lot of things. It has been a very, very fun year. Accomplished a lot of things with the brand, and, sky's the limit, man. We're just keep motoring here.
We should do a 2024 recap episode.
We really should. Maybe we'll do like an the boys episode.
Yeah,
we'll get all the boys on one. That'd be nice.
Like we completely forget that we did All-Star at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah. There was something else we did in the beginning of the year too, though. We did something in, was it January before All-Star? I'm trying to think.
I'd have to go through and look. Like usually I just like run through my camera roll and look at everything that we did.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Just continue on though.
But yeah, to kind of get into some stuff too, I want to say it was the first fashion show for the brand.
First fashion show ever. Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. So I guess for those that don't know, Matt, you want to kind of give like a bit of an insight as to the fashion show that the brand was a part of and that you were kind of a part of and how you kind of closed out. I guess, yeah, just give everyone kind of like a background as to what went down, where it was, who was there, what it was for, and just, kind of give us a little recap. Because Derek and I couldn't go. We were on the sticks for NHL. Benny was also at the Sabres game, so we unfortunately missed out. But I want to hear a little bit about it.
It was sick. It was our first fashion show that we ever did. To be a part of the Restoration Runway show was super dope, and it was crazy. We headlined and closed the event, so that was pretty cool. And like everything, top to bottom, song choice, model outfits, runway, kind of like the your walk style that you do. That was all up to us, and for me to be able to kind of direct and lead that whole thing was pretty cool. So it was a lot of these runway shows, and I've like followed a lot of them, just keeping up with like Kid Super and some of the ones that he does. But a lot of it is like last minute work, so you're literally working up to like the last minute buzzer to get all this stuff done. So I remember like as of the week before, we had like 4 or 5 models committed, and then I was like, I really want to have like 10 or 12 looks just based on all the work that we've done throughout this year. And I think for us too, like A lot of times when people do runway shows, I think it's like current collections that they're releasing or stuff that they're dropping in the future. And for us, like with this being our first one, I really want to have it be a foundation of more of the work that we've done recently, but also stuff in the past. So yeah, we had some pretty cool looks. We had a full Blackhawks look, kind of a mix of old and new. We had a full Gretzky look. We had some other people wear like jersey samples and stuff that we've done. We also included some of the old Virgil inspiration of guys wearing the hockey gloves on the runway as well too. So we had that mixed with the colored bubbles, which was sick. And just like some overall like hockey fashion type stuff that we do in general. So yeah, super sick for me to be a part of it. To do that for the first time was dope. And I know probably a lot of people that are listening to this are familiar with Austin Guyette and his brand Clothing by a Guy. So he was a great help to me leading up to the event and provided a lot of knowledge and insight of. He's done a lot of fashion shows before. And I think the main purpose that we did this one was that we want to host our own. It's going to be an on-ice runway, which is just going to be crazy. And Austin and I are starting to work on that right now. So that'll be probably a 25 or 2026 project that we're hyped about. But yeah, that's, I think, going to completely change the look of the sport forever. Just like how we do the complete runway on ice. I'm just imagining this be at like Key Bank Center or a big venue. Like imagine if it was the United Center where we just like had guys like skate out of the tunnel, the Zamboni, and just like do the whole thing. And then I don't know, I just have a lot of ideas of how we could mix this and how we're going to do it. But for us to be a part of the first restoration one was really cool, and want to thank Lauren and her team for allowing us to be a part of it.
Yeah, it looked sick too. I mean, I saw Dunn and Tony got some footage of it. I think it was something that was kind of long overdue for the brand. I feel like I'm kind of surprised this was the first one we'd ever kind of been a part of, but it looked like a great turnout. It looked like it was a lot of fun. It looked packed in there. The fit, like every little piece that you guys worked on was unbelievable. I think Brandon, you said, helped out a little bit with it too, which was cool to see. So it was nice, I mean, it's nice that we have a group of guys here too that, if a few of us can't be somewhere, there's other people that can help out. And I think seemed like it was a really strong group effort. Tony help you lug all the stuff over to 500 Pearl between, the different clothing and just all the different fits and things like that. So that was cool. And obviously Brandon kind of having he's a little fashion guy himself. So yeah. It was cool to kind of see him throw some flair on some things. I know he's helped out with you on like directing shoots and just kind of putting together looks. So it's always cool to see when all the boys can be involved in something like that too.
Yeah, Tony, Dunn, Brandon, huge help on all fronts there. They all had media passes, so they were like shooting on the floor too. I think the thing that like set the whole thing apart for us and that people were like, wow, what is that? Is we brought the smiley heads. And like those walking down the runway, like the main smiley head like debuted the whole thing, and people were just like, damn, well that's different. So like right off the bat, we kind of made our mark on it right away. And yeah, to be last is cool too, like to close out a show, because it almost feels like everything's like was building up to us a little bit in a way. And yeah, great song choice too, Timeless by The Weeknd. That was a Brandon pick, so that was great. I love that song too. And yeah, overall it was sick. I loved it. I would love to do another one soon too.
It's funny too, because we've been together a lot since that fashion show, and I wanted to just save some of my questions I had for you about it for the podcast, just because I feel like if we talked about it off camera, we wouldn't be able to get a natural feel for it. But like I was going to ask you, what was your favorite part about the whole thing, like about the night? I know you talked a little bit about how it was a lot kind of leading up to it, just a lot of directing and coordinating and things like that. But like, what was I'd say like what was like a rewarding part for you? Or
yeah, I think my favorite part is that we got to just completely style it the way that we wanted to. The whole thing was up to us. Like all the models that we picked, the outfits that we chose, the song, runway direction, all the stuff I touched on, I think was the best part. Because a lot of times I think when you get asked to do stuff like this, maybe you're put into a box of what you can do, and people kind of expect you to create inside that box. But for us to be able to bring the heads and style the outfits that we wanted to from top to bottom, like the whole entire fit was custom. So yeah, I think that was cool. That was one thing that I appreciate as a creative, just being able to design the way that I think stuff is intended to be done, and just like freely and creatively. So yeah, I would say that's probably my favorite part, and that's why I'm excited to do the runway of our own too, is so that we can put all that stuff together. We can do some audience engagement type stuff. Another piece that was cool too, maybe one of my favorite parts, is that the models threw a few hats into the crowd. So we had some new era hats that people launched in the crowd as well, and we went to 500 after, and like a couple of people came up to me, like wearing the hat, like saying that they caught one. So yeah, just some cool shit like that, like just like creative stuff that we were able to work into it.
For those that are kind of wanting to get into this field of work, fashion, art, creativity, things like that, talk to us a little bit about how you picked the models. Like, what was that process like? Because I know for us in the past, like over the years, we've had, again, we said it on the last episode, we've had our friends model for us in the past. Then we got into like using professional models all the way up to people who have, real strong influence in the hockey culture, like how we use Pat Coletta, for example. But what was the process like picking out these models? Did you have to reach out to these people, or did Restoration kind of give you a list of people at one of their rehearsals, and they're like, you have X amount of people to choose from? Like, what was the whole, like, what was that process like for you?
Yeah,
Or
Restoration.
for everybody, I guess.
For
involved?
sure. That's a good question. They have a crazy database of like all these models, and they had a website they sent me. It was like all these different headshots of people, kind of like their experience and everything too. So it was funny. I didn't even use any of that though. Like it was cool to like look through and like see, Rusty's walking in this and whatnot. So I think the one thing that we tried to do was obviously not have a model walk for more than one person. Just to kind of keep like a distinguished look for each designer. But Rusty was somebody that I pulled right away just because he has experience in fashion and runway shows like this. So kind of made him like the main model. He's the one that wear the smiley head. And then for other people too, I thought this was an opportunity for us to reach into our bag a little bit and maybe pull out a couple models that we haven't worked with before and give them an opportunity to kind of be a part of our brand and kind of wear some different stuff that they maybe wouldn't have worn in the past. So yeah, it was cool. Like, I don't know, you see stuff, I think right away, some of the props that we use, like the bubbles and the smiley heads and some other stuff like the hockey gloves that, I think is pretty cool for other people that have modeled before that maybe just wear like, more standard apparel or everyday fashion type stuff, if you will. But I think the fact that we were able to use like some more creative props and stuff like that was pretty cool. And yeah, for us, like reached out to a few people, got connected with them through a lot of it's just IG reach out and kind of like, you have a lot of like mutual followers and friends and stuff, and maybe people that you've seen their work before, or maybe they've modeled for somebody else. So reached out to probably 2 or 3 or 4 on there and got connected with them, and it was cool. The first time I met up with a lot of them was at 500 at Forbes Theater, and yeah, for them, just they're like a part of your crew that night. So pretty sweet for them to just like, meet Brandon and Tony and Don and our entire team, and then like, oh, you're modeling too? Like, these people know each other. I think in the modeling space and community, there's a lot of crossover there too, and especially with these brands and these type of runway walks too. Like, people know each other, especially in a town like this. So, yeah, it was cool, like to pull some models like that and just work with people that we haven't worked with before that I think we'll end up using for future projects too.
Yeah, it's a cool community too, and it's cool that there's. Like, I see this kind of popping up a little bit more around here as the years have gone on, but it's cool to see that there's like this database, right, where people can go and they can see, oh, I need an actress or I need a model for this shoot, whatever it may be, whether it's, you're working with a brand or you're, doing commercial work. I know there's been times at the studio for Derek and I and Adam and Taylor, we've had to use like Casting Buffalo, who was a big help for us on one of our shoots over the summer. So it's cool that there's that database. And it also, I feel like that, with the more people kind of doing that, and it helps not only like put their name out there, because maybe these people that are modeling may not have a big following and they're not being seen, but there's brands like us who we may have to kind of tap into that a little bit, right? And we can find somebody who we're really looking for. We talked again on the last episode, or maybe 2 episodes ago, again about having Pat Coletta be the main face of the New Era collab, right? And he was a good representation of that, and he had that look that we were really looking for. So I think it's cool that, there's databases out there for people. There's resources for these people that could, kind of do what they want to do. And then it's also a resource for us to really use and kind of pull people from. So it's cool, man. That's pretty cool. I didn't realize, I mean, I knew kind of how much kind of went into what was going on, but I didn't realize like how much digging you kind of had to do, and people have certain styles. Again, you mentioned Rusty, who's done some work for us now, so I'm sure like that was probably a really good person to have. And then also Solomon too from UV, which was cool.
Yeah, and that's the stuff too. Is like walking is way different than modeling. Walking, it's slower pace. You got to walk with a little bit of style and flair, and like know what you're doing more so. So we were our models got there a little late because a couple of them were coming from Rochester, and it was like 10 minutes before the show was going to start, and we haven't even done any sort of like routine yet, or like walk through our walk. So yeah, I mean, like I said before, like you're working to the last minute leading up to it. And I think the way that we did our walk too was really unique and different, because like I wanted everybody after they walk, because after you walk, you like walked up to the balcony and then you walked off. But I wanted all of our models to be in the same area, just so you can kind of get like a full look of everybody. So after you walk to the middle, I had everybody stand in the spot. And, from there, after we had 9 or 10 models, like everybody had their own perimeter set up. And cool for me to be able to walk to the middle of that and just kind of like stand around all these people that I know pretty well, and just like to be a part of our brand, and like all these different looks and the work that we've done too is special. But yeah, I just wanted to like the models and all the looks to have as much exposure as they could. So pretty cool for like, I don't know, you're standing in the audience and Rusty and the Smiley head standing right there next to you. You get to see like the full detail of like the head and what it looks like, the jersey detail, like some of the work that we put into the stuff that we're going to talk about today. So yeah, and that goes back to like having the creative freedom to be able to do that stuff and organize it all front to back. So yeah, pretty cool. Another special moment or detail that I just remembered.
Oh yeah, congrats on that too, dude. Like that, I know you've been doing this shit for a very long time. So I think, like I was saying earlier, it was something that like this fashion show, which doing a fashion show in general, I feel like was very long overdue. So I think more is to come with that, and I'm excited for the future of it for sure.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
Speaking of the future, CCM just released some very exciting news. But even before we get into that, we got trains booked. We got planes booked. We've got hotels booked. The boys are going to in Montreal.
That's right.
Might have to bleep that out, but the boys are going to Montreal, and I'm super excited. This is going to be our second time in Montreal. A lot of the boys' first time in Montreal. But CCM just announced CCM Hockey House this year is going to be in Montreal, Quebec, and we are so excited to be back. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that and our involvement there. You spent a lot of time doing a lot of work for CCM with CCM for Hockey House. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
Tell everyone what we're doing up there.
CCM Hockey House going to be in Montreal this year. Who went to Montreal last year? Me, you, and Jared?
Yeah. For the 125th anniversary party, which unbelievable, by the way. Thank you guys again for having us at that. That was awesome.
That was like our first little taste of Montreal, even though we were only there like 3 or 4 days. But yeah, this time around is going to be sick. We're going to get a full tour of the CCM headquarters. We're going to get into all the stuff that we're doing for Hockey House this year, I'm sure too. But yeah, just for the boys to be able to experience Montreal, I can't wait for that. It's different over there. I'm pumped. But yeah, CCM Hockey House in Montreal this year. We are proud to be the official apparel provider of the CCM Hockey House. It's going to be so sick. We can't wait to be a part of this. Thank you to Noah and his entire team for allowing us to do this. But we're going to have draft caps. We're going to have influencer stuff that we're doing. We're doing all the merch for the staffing there. And we're also going to have merch available for retail as well. So we're going to be on site in Montreal at Lower Canadian College, I think is the name of it. And we're going to be set up as their retail shop there. So we're going to have all the POS stuff set up. So beanies, hats, shirts, everything you guys, we're going to have sticker packs and some other, little accessory stuff there too. But yeah, can't wait for everybody that's coming out to Montreal to be a part of this event. I think it's going to open us up to an entirely new fan base and audience of, kids that we've never met in person, but people maybe that are familiar of the brand. So can't wait. It's going to be sick this time around. It's going to be January 9th to the 12th.
Yeah, I'm glad you said the date too, because I almost forgot about that. But yeah, dude, I'm so stoked for that. I'm excited that all the boys are going to be able to really go and experience this, because for those that don't know, CCM puts on this event, I think almost every year. Yeah, last year was our first time going to this, but basically what it is, it's a weekend long event. CCM has like they have general admission. You can go. They've got special guests. They do like this influencer night too. But they basically allow you. They basically allow you to kind of come in and test out all the gear that they're releasing next year. So you can try on skates. You can check out the new sticks, gloves, helmets, protective equipment, anything that's kind of coming out, and just try it out. It's super fun. They have things that are on sale too, I'm pretty sure. Very cool experience. So if you're in the Montreal area, if you're anywhere close to Montreal, I would highly suggest trying to make it out to that, especially if you're a hockey fan or just involved in the hockey community, because they do a really, really good job with all their activations. And it made me look at, like when we went last year, it kind of made me look at CCM a little bit differently. I know growing up, I didn't really use a lot of CCM stuff other than like their helmets and gloves, not so much sticks, but it just, they have their staff there. You can kind of talk. You can ask questions about the equipment, what the difference is maybe between certain lies on sticks, or if you have skate questions, they're there to answer those questions for you. So I think it's a very cool and exclusive way to really learn about their brand, what they do, their equipment and things like that. And I think it's super cool what they're doing. I wish they had that stuff when we were kids. Derek, I remember back, I don't even remember what year it was, but remember CCM Guts and Glory?
Yeah, it was a good camp. It was definitely like a skills camp for sure. I would say you got to try out the equipment. It wasn't like I don't remember doing a lot of skating. It was definitely
A lot of stick
a
handling
lot of
work.
stick handling. It was like much more skill based. But yeah, it was a really cool camp. I remember I think we were probably like 6th or 7th grade around there or something like that. But yeah, it was like really the only camp of its kind where you could actually like go and try out equipment while you were actually practicing in the camp, which was really cool. But yeah, I'm trying to think of when that was, honestly.
I think you're right. I think we were in like 6th or 7th grade, but I don't know, Matt, if you ever heard of that before. But dude, it like CCM's always doing cool stuff, it seems to me. And like I remember when the announcement came out that they were coming to Buffalo, I remember me and Derek, when we heard about it, we were like on our bus at like our bus stop. Yo, you see CCM Guts and Glory's coming here? And dude, it was sick. Like they had OV's like VO8 helmet or V10 helmet at the time with a tinted visor on it, just sitting on like at the registration table. I remember every morning I'd go up to it and just like look at it, just because like being an OV fan growing up, it was so sick.
That's dope.
So you got, I think, Derek, remember the U plus sticks were out at this time? So
yeah, the U plus. I mean, you could try everything they had, and like skates, but I don't think a lot of people did skates just because like you were in camp, so like trying to try out new skates during camp is kind of tough. So
especially at a young age too.
It was a lot of sticks. People trying out sticks, I think. So because it was like top of the line sticks, and sticks were like, so it was like 2006. So like sticks were like still on, like people were still learning about them and stuff.
Yeah. But it was cool, dude. So, like I said, I'm excited to go. Again, if you're in Montreal, if you're around that area, I would highly recommend you go. Check it out. And if you can't check it out, go on social media and kind of take a look at their Instagram or maybe their website and check out some of the information they have on there. And also be sure to see in the future if they're coming to a city near you. Last year was in Boston. This year is in Montreal. So we're excited, man.
Yeah, this would be sick. The 3rd year they've done this. So
is it the 3rd
year?
year?
I think it goes. Yeah, I believe so. And yeah, with it being their 125th anniversary last year, I think they're gonna pull out a lot of stops for this, especially being in their hometown. So
yeah,
can't wait.
And it's cool too. Like CCM is always doing. Again, I said it earlier, but they're always doing cool and unique things. We saw the 125th. I think it was the 125th anniversary skates or something like that came out, which were super cool. But also, you have also been doing a lot of design work aside from CCM Hockey House. You designed and produced Her Future Is Now hat. Talk a little bit about that. Like, what kind of went into that? I know they kind of like, did they reach out to you about that actually, or what was the process there?
Yeah, they CCM released a line over the summer that was FTW. It was specifically geared for a female's body, so it was a little bit like it's much different than regular equipment, because I think women really struggle with like the contour of like kind of fitting into men's equipment. So that was a cool thing that CCM released this year, was equipment that was specifically designed for women. So along with that, they approached me and wanted to do a custom hat for all these women, to send them out to different athletes and influencers and some different people too. So her future was now seemed like a perfect phrase for that. And yeah, we had that on the front of the hat, just nice like 3D raised embroidery. Had some cool other details there, CCM, the DISHIN logo, the 3i logo on the side, and those hats did extremely well. We sent them out to a lot of influencers like Taylor Heisey, Megan Scheich, a bunch of I think really influential people and women in the hockey space, and they were received really well. I remember Taylor hit us up right away and was like saying how much she loved the fit and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then she was like, hey, you have any more hats? And we just like sent her like one of every DISHIN hat that we had. And yeah, and then she plays for Minnesota. They went on to win the championship this year, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, for CCM, they just announced all their DTC, direct to consumer. They're all available on ccmhockey.com, and one of their, I think, best selling hats that they have, and maybe that they've ever done. So that was pretty cool, and to be a part of that, pretty special. I know that we have some more work in the future with CCM outside of Hockey House and what we're doing with them. So excited to get into that a little bit more too down the road. And yeah, for now. Really excited with the momentum that we have with CCM and all the work that we've been doing with them.
Yeah, so I really like how much creative freedom CCM's really given you with all these things, between like the hats, and now we're getting into CCM Hockey House merch. Like, it's been cool to see you really kind of grow in that, and them really trust you and trust your vision on some of this stuff, because ultimately they're coming to you, right? Like, they want to see what you can come up with, and it's been cool to, you send them something, they're like, I don't know, but then you tweak it a little bit, and you kind of you put your spice on it to the point where like they trust you enough to kind of go with it. Like, you've been unreal with the suppliers for them, and I'm excited, dude. I think the future is very bright with CCM and doing a lot of things with them down the road. So
Yeah, I know, man. Yeah, it's sick. I mean, like CCM is the brand, dude. I mean, it's like what other brand within hockey? They're 125 years old. It's Canadian Cycle and Motor Company. They started selling bikes. Like DISHIN started selling Buffalo hockey apparel way back when. But yeah, I mean, look at the progression that we've gone through, like up until this point and now. So yeah, I'm excited. There's stuff that I can't even talk about with CCM that we're working on right now that I can't wait to share with everybody, because I think it's gonna be huge. I know it's gonna be huge. So pumped for all that.
yeah. And speaking of like the growing the women's game and things like that, we've been working on a little line kind of our own with our friends over at 3G Sports. This conversation started a little over a year ago, and we kind of really picked it up and started kind of hammering down on this back in January, and it finally kind of came to life. Took some time a little bit just with things going on, and but we're very excited to announce that we're going to be doing a collab with 3G Sports. Well, actually, we have one of the hats now, so we're going to be doing this hat for the women and for anybody that supports the movement or of the women's game. But Matt, if you want to talk a little bit about that and what that says on that hat there.
Yeah, we are really excited about this. This is a collab we're doing with 3G Sports. They represent a lot of women's hockey players across the PWHL. But yeah, it's she shoots, she scores. We thought this was a perfect phrase for us, our involvement into women's hockey a little bit more. Obviously, coming off the CCM stuff that we did, but I don't know. This is just, I think, a great phrase and something that I think a lot of women and men's hockey players can rally around too. I think we've just been able to see the growth of women's hockey firsthand. Just thinking back when some of our friends like Jackie was playing in the league, and just like I don't know where it is right now. I saw yesterday that they announced that New York and Boston are going to be playing at the KeyBank Center here in February, so that's sick. I definitely want to get out to that. But yeah, this is dope. Like, and I talk about like the New York Sirens, and they're a team in the PWHL, and Sarah Fillier, who's also a CCM athlete that we've been able to work with and send some stuff to. But we sent some hats to her. We sent some hats to Sorori Hatzinker and just some other women around hockey that are just like so influential and have done great work within the sport as well too. So we have these hats available. We're also going to have shirts too. So yeah, excited for everything that's going to be happening with this stuff. The release date is going to be officially on December 2nd. So pumped for that.
But yeah, super stoked for this collab too, and for these to come out. Like Matt was saying, we have shirts as well, white shirt and a black T-shirt with this logo on it. So yeah, excited for that to come out. Speaking of merch, show and tell. I didn't really introduce that as like a show and tell item, but that was one of them. Matt, what the hell is this? What is this?
Dude, this is the Gretzky hoodie that we are so excited to be debuting here pretty soon. We have a whole entire collaboration that we're doing with the Gretzky Hockey School in partnership with Ty Gretzky and his entire team over there. These are so nasty. Some of the, I think, the best work that we've done yet. Just like so much detail on this. We got the screen print on the front logo. The stars are embroidered, smiley embroidered on the back. Obviously, these are all of our DISHIN blanks too. The hoodies, the shirts, everything that we use from the Blackhawks collection that we did. When we did that, we made everything from scratch. So this is all the custom blank work that we're using from our manufacturer that we're doing. And yeah, this is so sick. I think a grail of what we're doing within hockey.
This honestly might be my my new favorite piece that has ever come out of this brand. I mean, I remember over the years we've really talked a lot about kind of mixing in just some embroidery work around like the logo and things like that. The detail on these is insane. I'm so excited for these to drop. I know, we talked a little bit about we still got to shoot this stuff too. Mm-hmm. I think it's all of it in now.
Yeah, everything's here. Yep.
Okay, so
I got a deck behind me. Yep. So we got
that's
the decks as
fucking
well.
Sweet too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know we talked about this collab on a few episodes back, and it's cool to see everything kind of come to life now. And I don't know if there's a release date just yet. Again, I know we got to shoot some of the stuff. We've been kind of going back and forth on dates of when we want to shoot all the merchandise. So I'm sure we'll be doing that in the next couple of weeks for sure.
Yeah, I called Ty last week and was showing him all the merch and everything, and trying to get him out to Buffalo for our shoot. So in the works right now. We'll see when we can get him to the studio if his schedule allows for it, and we'll figure out the release date from there. It'll probably be December sometime. If not, then very early 2025. But yeah, all the merch is in. Hats, a couple of different shirts, hoodies, skateboard decks, rugs, sticker packs, a lot of stuff. So this is going to be a dope collab. I'm pumped for this. And yeah, Ty's doing some great work like around with these hockey schools that he does. He goes to different cities and travels, and just following along with like his dad and everything right now too, and like what he's going through with following Ovechkin and just like him chasing his goal record. Like that's so cool to me. I'm sure it's cool to you too, just being an Ovi fan like as much as you are. But yeah, entire Gretzky family is just like insane, dude. And to be able to work with them, you've done some work with them, you and Derek with Gretzky's basement and now with us for the hockey school. So it's so sick.
Yeah, it really is. And I know like he was super pumped. I remember like one of the first calls like we had all kind of gotten on with him regarding this collab. Like he was just so super pumped, and he seems like he's someone that always kind of wants to be doing stuff. So I'm excited for this, man. I think a lot of people are going to be blown away when they see the amount of detail on these hoodies, and not to mention too, like now you talked about like doing stuff, like doing more merchandise on all of our blanks, making shit from scratch. I feel like a lot of people who have gotten stuff from us over the years really, really like the blanks and all the material you've been doing this stuff on. So this guy is seriously setting the bar for merchandise for years to come and design work. So, I'm excited to see him continue to do his thing, and just sky's the limit here. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's kind of all I had today.
Yeah, same, dude. Yeah, it's I love the pod, dude. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to like just talk about this shit because it's like stuff that we see that we do every day that we just I don't know. It's a great outlet for us to be able to show this stuff off and just like I don't know, connect on a little bit more, like talk about stuff, the details that we wouldn't have necessarily talked about through the content. So
for sure. And I think we get caught up too in, deadlines, release dates and things like that. And if for people that watch this on a regular basis, thank you guys. Seriously, it means the world to us. We put a lot of time and effort into this stuff. And again, I wish we could do it a little bit more, but me, Matt, Derek, Tony, and the rest of the crew have kind of talked. It's hard to do this every week when we don't like if we're doing if we're just so in the mix with projects, right? Like we want to make sure we have things that are done the right way, and we want to be able to talk about it when we're really ready. So doing this bi-weekly and sometimes every 3 weeks has definitely been a bit of a help to us, and it allows us to really talk a lot about different things we're doing and really kind of make it interesting for you guys. So again, if you made it this far in a lot of these episodes, like thank you guys seriously, because this shit is a lot of work that can go unnoticed at times for sure. And Tony and Dunn do a fantastic job cutting up the clips for us and making sure that you guys get the content you need in order to see this stuff. So again, kudos to those guys too. And Derek behind the scenes, behind the cameras, making sure that shit's running properly for Matt and I. You know, the stuff really, the hard work doesn't go unnoticed. And again, your guys' support does not go unnoticed. So thank you guys for sticking around.
Sounds like a clip to me.
Hell yeah. But last thing, I did want to touch one last thing. We talked a little bit about the holidays kind of coming back. The holidays are here. So make sure you guys, if you're looking for stuff for a family member, a loved one, friend, whatever, get on the site before Christmas, before the holidays. Get whatever you need, because we get real busy around this time of year. And if you want to maybe pick something up from the shop, if you're in Buffalo, let us know. And if you want to order something, definitely get on that. And like Matt said, we got some Black Friday deals coming up, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, that's kind of all I had.
Let's go. Good shit.
Hell yeah.
More to come.
More to come. Episode 17.